All right, keeping this going. It's funny that you do something on a whim spontaneously, and it's like, you know what? Let's keep it going. So this is J Empress with a reading from my first book, Yoni Flower, a self-love journey, and in the previous videos, I shared a piece from the flower portion, even though I didn't specifically mention it. And then I shared a piece from the Yoni portion, and now I'm going to share a piece from the wild portion. Makes sense, right? Since the other two were journal entries, I'm gonna keep it with the journal entries. This is a collection of my poems and journal entries from a 2 or 3 year span time period that explores my journey through self and womanhood during that time. So it's very, very candid, very raw. And the wild portion, I usually share my erotic pieces. The wild is more the sexuality, but also the wild is me just not giving a fuck. Me saying the things that I really want to say, but for some reason have prevented myself from saying because it's not, it's not polite decorum, or like people don't expect it of me, and all of these like self-imposed limitations, because it's like, really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It only matters what I think. You know what I'm saying? Someone doesn't vibe with it, fuck it, it's not for them. So each portion, the book is organized into three parts, and then each, where are my words? The book is organized into three parts, and then each part is even more subdivided into sections that make it very clear my state of mind, in that section. So this is part one, wild, but this is section two, wildly raw, no fucks given. So you know where I'm at. So this is immediately after that section opens, journal entry number 2. I'm sick of sisterhood, honestly. I feel drained and overburdened by this collective healing we are doing, or supposed to be doing. Sometimes it feels like shit is talked to death but still not heard, not felt, and definitely not practiced. I'm also a bit wary of what I share. I know I tend to overshare with people too soon. It develops this sense of closeness that seems real, but is only temporary. I don't wait long enough to see if the people I'm confiding in are indeed trustworthy and adept at maintaining my secrets. Usually it's a secret for secret type of exchange that develops our kinship bonding. But if someone is careless or more free with divulging their own secrets, are they capable of safeguarding mine? Humans are fickle creatures, and unfortunately, with women, instability is consistent. 1 minute y'all cool, the next you're not. And it may not even be anything you did or did not do, but rather an ill-conceived idea that flourishes out of nowhere and becomes fact. I am tired of inauthenticity. I try to be transparent. I also try to pick and choose my battles. Everything ain't worth addressing. Everything ain't a deeper issue. Some shit just needs to be let go. And some shit needs to be aired out. But apparently, among my friends, the balance between the two seems to be the source of miscommunication, because what I thought had been let go is still an issue, and what I harp on is encouraged to let go. Sigh. I think I need to embrace solitude more. Not retreat there, but embrace it wholeheartedly. I still have the problem of being too available to everyone. So I choose me. I choose to safeguard and honor my own secrets. I choose to hold space with myself. I choose to put me first more often without guilt or shame. I choose to say no more often. Or I don't care for this. No matter who agrees/disagrees with it. I choose to be responsible for my own healing, no one else's. I choose to interact with company that can respect those choices. And I choose to walk my own path authentically and unapologetically, whether I have company by my side or not. This was written the 18th of June, 2017. And I believe that was the first time I read that aloud. Wow. I feel like I need to release. Oh man, it's interesting that the 3 of the journal entries that I read were all from the same year. 2017 was such a very emotional year for me. It's funny as I say that, I was thinking about a conversation that I was having with someone about 2018 and how 2018 was such a very emotional roller coaster of a year. And so now me looking at 2017, I'm like, shit. Oh, when it comes to relationships in 2017, oh my goodness. I've always been the same way I've been passionate about love. I'm passionate about love, period. I don't want to, make love like it's just a romantic thing, because it's not. I love loving, you know what I mean? I'm a loving individual, and I embody love. My essence is love. So whether it's a lover, someone that I'm engaged with romantically, or whether it's a sister, whether it's family, friends, colleagues, I always extend, love. That's what I'm about. And the same way that I've been very passionate about seeking or manifesting a romantic partner, I've always been very passionate about sisterhood, solidarity, and seeking close, authentic kinship ties with other women, particularly Black women, has been a source of so much pain for me. Even saying that, even saying that makes me a little bit emotional. And in 2017, I was blessed and then traumatized by the relationships that I built and the friendships that I manifested. And now looking back, I realized, like, the same with the romantic partnership. It's okay to desire it, you know what I mean? It's okay to seek those things, but you have to learn how to find those things within yourself first, so that when they come to you, they come to you from a whole place, you know what I mean? And I wasn't whole at that time. I was getting there, but I was still very much wounded. So the individuals that I attracted were also very much wounded. I feel I was a little bit at a higher point in my elevation, but I was still going through, the journey of learning who I was and what I wanted, and my pleasure and pain points and things like that. And so the people that were around me, they were also on that journey, but in different points, you know what I mean? Some of those women knew themselves a lot less, and also had deeper struggles with self-esteem. I've struggled with self-esteem all my life, and I feel like it really hasn't been, I want to say until recently, but I'm thinking like, recent time is such a elusive concept, because really for me, I feel like I stepped up my self-love journey 2014, actually before then, 2012, 2013, maybe 2012, because I remember like becoming very enamored with my first set of locks, and that's how I started to like really love up on myself a little bit more, because I started to see myself differently in this hair journey. And I was also in a toxic relationship at that time, and so I had to really sit back and examine like, why am I allowing these things to happen when I want more, when I'm deserving of more? And 2014 really sticks out in my mind because that's when I moved to Florida, and I became very deliberate about starting over, and being very intentional about what I bring into my life and who is in my life. So I really started with affirmations and vision boards. That's when I first started doing all of that, and yoga and meditation, like all of these very different healing practices. And I feel like I was reaching the pinnacle, and then I like got knocked back a few steps. And 2017 was the time where it was like I got knocked back a few steps, and I was coming back to, my sense of self and remembering who I was. And so in that process of remembering, like I said, I'm attracting individuals that are also struggling with the things that I'm struggling with, but at different levels. And me being the healer that I am, me being the loving person that I am, sometimes I have a tendency to like self-martyr. I want to save everybody, and even at the detriment of myself. And it began this process of like, beautiful intimacy, based on shared pain and shared struggle, and then discord from, I'm glad that we can talk about our shared struggles and shared pain, but I don't want that to define who I am. I don't want to remain in that place. You know what I mean? I'm remembering my power, and I'm remembering that I can create, the kind of life that I wish to live. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and just commiserate, and you start noticing very deliberately, very soon, the distinction between, who is like a reflection, you know what I mean, and it's meant to show you where you still need healing, and who you're actually supposed to be in like contact with and invest in and grow with and all of that stuff. I didn't learn that lesson until later. Yeah, that journal entry came from the pain and the trauma of me not understanding like why these friendships and these relationships that started out so beautiful and everything that I thought I wanted, and ended up being very, very harmful, and hurt people, I still have a lot of love for the sisters that I'm no longer in community with. Would not want them to be, would not want them to reinvest themselves or reintegrate in my life. But I understand, you know what I mean? Because like I've also done things that were harmful, because I didn't know, was doing the best that I could, and hurt people. But I didn't expect to go into all of that, but I feel like this is a very real problem that we don't talk about enough candidly. And allowing myself to kind of sit with all of the feelings that this is bringing up. I wanted to share that because I feel that a lot of Black women specifically can probably relate, you know what I mean? And to be real, even more candid, a lot of this stems from the first word that came up was toxic, but I'm gonna say complicated, you know, because it's not entirely toxic, but the complicated relationships that we've had with our mothers. Whew. It affects how we show up in our sisterhood, you know what I mean, and how we are able to be in community with each other. It's difficult. It's very difficult. One thing I can say in reflection of this, I'm very thankful that despite the pain that I received from a lot of these relationships, I still remain open. You know, I still remain open. I still have a very, very deep love for my sisters, for Black women. I feel like, I mean, I can never not. You know what I mean? Like, we're such special beings, and you know, there's a lot of healing that we need to do. There's a lot of healing that we need to do, individually, personally, collectively, and it starts with us naming those hurts. It starts with us naming those hurts. It starts with us being very open and candid that, yo, some of these sisters out here ain't being really sisterly. Some of these sisters don't even know how to practice sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? And they out here being very unintentional and spreading the hurt around. Cease that shit. Cut that shit out. Yeah. So, whew. J Empress sharing journal pieces, very candid, raw snapshots of my life experience and my self-love journey. It hasn't always been easy. It isn't always easy because it's ongoing. It doesn't stop. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, no. I want to challenge you, Black women, to think about the times, think about the ways in which you have behaved unsisterly. Not to beat yourself up about it, you know what I mean? Just to like really sit and acknowledge it, because we all, like I said, played our parts in contributing to harm. I challenge you to think about the ways that you've been unsisterly, and I challenge you to think about the ways in which you could be more intentional in practicing sisterhood and practicing community, period. That might be something worth journaling over. Yeah, that feels like a good place to end. So, J Empress, Wild Yoni Flower, A Self-Love Journey. Get the book.